one and the one behind it are quite similar in height. So I'm just going to put reference marks. The laser line's not quite as thin as I'd like it to be, but this beats the hell out of not having a laser line. This wee Bosch level, I opted to pay a bit more for one that has the full 360 around it, which I'm really glad I did, because I can see out here in the dark, I can see right across the grass here. It's made a really interesting lighting effect in the grass where it's cut through it. This is supposed to be within plus or minus 0.4 of a millimetre per metre, and given that we're only 4 metres, maybe 5 tops from here to the furthest point, we're only talking about a couple of mils maximum that we're out according to its specs. But overall I'm actually really happy with it. This was $297, so it wasn't a cheap tool by any means, but it was cheap for what it is. Realistically, I was looking down the barrel of $800 or $900 for an outdoor one, and I couldn't justify that. This was more than I wanted to spend, much more than I wanted to spend, but I'm actually really glad I bought it. This is going to be really useful. It does have some other modes where it puts across here, so we get an up and down line that way, and I can get an up and down line this way as well. I can set verticals at 90 degrees, I can do corners and stuff with it. This is going to be a really handy tool for me going forward, but just for what I'm using it for here, magical. What an easy job this has made it. I just had to wait till nightfall. How did you get out? Hey? What are you doing? Right, shall we go this way? Good boy, let's go put you back inside. And raining. That's where we're going to call it for the day. And it's pissing with rain again. This is going to annoy me all day. Alright, hopefully this rain will stay away for a bit. In and out like a bloody yo-yo. Trying to avoid it. This is getting a plate and some screws. Now these plates have got a slight kink in them, so on the other side I'll probably put them this way even though they'll overhang a bit. And on this side I'm just going to line it up, I think, about like that. I don't know if there's a proper way to do it. That's how I'm doing it. Alright, well that is not going to go anywhere.
I think that's not going anywhere.
Alright. Solid. But it is starting to split again, so I suspect the next time you see this it'll be done, and quite possibly this side will be done as well. To a good start. So before I get carried away with this insulation, I need to make sure that this is square. And I think it's square. I certainly measured it to be square. but I'm not about to strap this down until I'm 100% certain. I've already had to cut one set of nails. I don't want to do it again. Holy crap balls. Man, that's nuts. We're a couple of mils out over nearly 8 metres, and that is good enough for a government job. This is not a government job. It's way cooler than that, but I would consider that square. I'm going to leave it there. So tomorrow, more of the same. Alright, see you tomorrow. So that is 14 mil. So these are called joist hangers, and I guess the sensible thing to do would actually be to put them on this rim joist first and then just sit all the joists in the hangers. No one accused me of being sensible. Oi, stop eating grubby floor water. Maybe he's cleaning up my puddles. Attach it on one side and then squeeze it up in the other. Oh, Dick. You're feisty. Little bracket I made. Just makes life easy. This is the upside. Hang that nail on there. Put the nail down below it, flush with the bottom. That's the right height. The right height for what you say. Well, I don't know, but it's the height that I'm setting all these polystyrene sheets to. Whether it's right or not, I couldn't find anything that told me exactly how close to the floorboards they needed to be. Two nails here for a short piece, and then the full sheet will go down here. This, I'm not sure I'm going to need it, at least not just yet, but do need to have it. I'm only putting 4 nails under a full sheet. It's pretty rigid, and I'd say if it ever becomes get our R value back for that. And that's it, just going along, getting all this in. Then we'll cover it up and go inside, because it looked like it was going to rain a couple of hours ago. It looks a heck of a lot more like it's going to rain now, so I want to get this done. So I'll come back and show you when it's finished. Right, so as you can see, I've made quite a bit of progress on the floor. Most of the bracketry's in. That used about 5 kilos of small nails and another nearly 5 kilos of 90mm. So I'm feeling a little bit worn out on one side of my body because it's all hand nailed. I geniusly bought a nail gun without actually thinking that there might be different nails for different guns. And turns out there is. So my nail gun takes very expensive, hard to find nails. So I've bought bright nails because a box of those was $140 odd, and to buy galv ones would have been $360 or $370 for a box, and I couldn't justify that because I'd still need the brights to do the framing. I suppose I could have used galvs, but yeah, it's just an insane price for a box of nails. So I'm hand nailing galv nails that don't cost anything like that, and then when I get into the framing I can use the brights. So anyway, I've got a little, like I say, I've got a few more straps to put on, a few more joist hangers to put on. Kind of overkill possibly for what I'm doing, but I'd rather it was strong. Alright guys, I don't know if the camera's going to pick up just quite how dark it is, because the lens on this thing's quite good in auto mode, but we've got, it's going to be shaky, over 2/3 of the insulation done, all the brackets, all the nails that I have to bang in by hand at this point in the subfloor done. Oh man, I did join a couple of short pieces just to fill in some gaps. I think I'm going to have well and truly enough to finish it. I do have another bag there, so I still have a whole nother bag yet. That should be fine. But yeah, subfloor is coming to an end, so I'm going to end it here because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I may try and sneak out and just finish the insulation, but the next video will be putting the floor down and some design decisions that I have to make around that. So I've got to determine, given that my tongue and groove has no tongue, for cost reasons, because tongue and groove with a tongue is a bit more expensive, but in the end I probably should have just bought it. But hey, I got some 19mm 3.2 ply. It's got grooves, it just doesn't have any tongues, so I may figure out if I can squeeze something in there. But job for tomorrow, but tomorrow is supposed to rain, so maybe job for later on in the week. We'll see how we go. Anyway, that's a wrap for this video. Hopefully that's been somewhat entertaining. Watching me smack the crap out of my nail. I've lost count of how many times I've hit that particular finger. It's just putting in nails on an odd angle. And that nail seems to be the one that gets in the way, so I have smacked it multiple times. It is nice and bruised now, so I expect to lose that at some point. But yeah, making good progress. Much slower than I expected to make. We get the floor on in the next video and start putting up the walls. And sneak preview, here is my design. Now this design is kind of retrospective a little bit, because here is the design that I started with and have some quite serious modifications, as you can see. Messed around with putting a toilet and shower in there. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to the proper rules, and there'll be access to the house for that, or I may just build a little outhousey type thing. I haven't decided yet. I'm not sure I can do that without getting it signed off by the council either, so we'll see how we go. Anyway, thanks for following along, and hopefully the next one will be up shortly-ish. We'll see how we go. Yeah, so if this has been enjoyable, by all means subscribe and follow along. I am hoping over the next couple of weeks that I've got off work to get a lot more of this done. If I can get it to a closed-in shell, then that would be fantastic, because I am fairly certain that my daughter is just going to move in, ready or not. So as soon as the roof's on and the walls are up, regardless of the inside, I think she'll have a bed in there and be into it. If only so she can have her cat here. This is the only place it can be on the property, otherwise the dogs are going to go mental. So hence why all this is happening, for a cat. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.